gotta let all the pressure out of the tires in order to get the Troopy to fit in the garage. So it's always kind of a hassle bringing it in. In addition to letting tire pressure out, we also have to load up the rear with a bunch of heavy stuff and then get like 3 guys to hang off the back of the rear bumper. So I have this battery here, a couple of used tires, and a couple of buddies. Offer them a few beers and they'll come by. I don't know if that made it, to be honest. Welcome back to another All Terrain Trails episode. My name is Johannes, and if you haven't been keeping up with our Troopy build, we've been working diligently over the past few months to get this thing ready for a trip across Canada. Now, what we've done so far is do some rust repair in the floor, do some noise and temperature insulation also on the floor, get it all painted up and everything. So if you haven't seen those episodes, go check that out, and then it'll make more sense about what we're doing now. But anyway, we're at the point where I was able to go out and purchase some wood to create a subfloor, and also some more of this pink, I'll show you here in a minute, this pink insulation that I have. So we're going to put another layer of insulation down, and then create a subfloor on top of that insulation. And on top of that floor, we're going to be able to bolt our cabinetry and water tanks. So we're busy cutting and shaping a floor to fit the Troopy. Right? So come along with us as I show you what we're doing next on our Troopy build. It's going to be a good episode. Surprised at how dirty it gets back here. We haven't really had it out on too many trips, but there's so many like sticks and debris and dog hair. Where does it all come from? That's a lot of dust.
I need to gather together a set of measurements of the cargo area of the vehicle in order to plan out our interior build properly. Everything from the length and width of the floor, the height and width of the wheel well arches, widths and size of the windows, our entrances and exits need to be properly accounted for. I will then convert these measurements into a 3D Google SketchUp model to show an accurate representation of what our vehicle will look like. Having a 3D model to reference makes ordering material like aluminum extrusion much easier because you are able to visualize the structure and all of its measurements at the same time.
Hey guys, today's a big day for the Troopy build. We are on our way out to Home Depot right now to pick up the subfloor. So it's just going to be a sheet of plywood that goes down that we're gonna use as a floor to bolt our cabinets to. So we've been waiting for a long time to go out and get our flooring material. So we're super excited. We're gonna get a couple other materials too, some insulation, some more insulation to lay down, and our flooring material. So super, like I said, super excited. So come along with us, pick up some materials, and then we'll get to installing some of this stuff. So we just got back from our Home Depot run. We picked up some plywood for the floor. We got 1/2 inch for the floor, 2 panels, and then 1/4 inch for these side panels here. If you take a look in here, we need to cover up these side panels, right? So I got 1/4 inch for that, and then, like I said, 1/2 inch for the floor, and then some pink foam insulation. I'll show you again. Some pink foam insulation that we're going to lay in between the grooves. I took a page out of Gone Dirtin' on Instagram. A little shout out to you guys, because I took several pages out of your Troopy build book, and we're going to apply it to our own Troopies. So yeah, super psyched to have some materials and to get building on this thing. I got paint and bolts and glue and brushes and adhesives and measuring tapes and chopping lists and everything. I got everything. I got everything.
So now we're just making a cardboard template of our floor, just for practice before we actually put the plywood down. So take a look at our first draft of a template.
Now we're going to take our template here, bring it over to our plywood. This template is ultimately going to be translated, ow, I just gave myself a splinter, translated onto this wood, right about there. Oh no, it's going to be right here. That's where it's going to sit. Now, this curvature here of the wheel well, we had to get right. Otherwise, there'd be a gap and it wouldn't look good and it wouldn't perform good. So now that we have that curve, we can just take a pen or a pencil and just trace that on there. And then I'll come in with my skill saw or my jigsaw, just cut that piece out. All right, we're about to make our first cut with our jigsaw here. I'll probably use a skill saw to go on these straight edges just to get a more accurate cut, but for these curved ones, I'm gonna try the old jigsaw. So we'll see how accurate I get. Let's give it a go. Long here. We might have to shave 1/4 inch. All right guys, so I just finished trimming up our floor panel piece here. Just trim up little edges here and there to really make it fit nice and snug. And I think I've got it down to a T. So I'll show you how it fits in the back here. Look at that. Right on. So the way I'm going to mount this piece of wood to this surface is by using these factory seatbelt holes that are already drilled and threaded into the floor of the Troopy. So I've found the correct thread size, and I'm going to take a bolt and I'm going to thread it. I'm going to put it through the wood and into the metal, right? Kind of a sandwich like that to hold that wood down. The only thing is, so I've drilled a hole and I've got it matched up with the hole, but my bolt that I have here isn't long enough to go through the wood and capture the threads. I thought I could go through the wood and then down into my hole, but if you can see that, it's just not long enough to capture the threads.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
It's close, but it's not close enough.
We get to work creating the rest of the wooden subfloor. In total, there will be 3 panels of wood creating the subfloor.
Boom!
It's done?
It's done! That's how it's gonna look. I have my own floor! I gotta take all these pieces of wood out now, sand them down, paint them, install some insulation under the wood, and then go get the correct size bolts to bolt the wood down. I just ordered some Sikaflex 291 sealant. That's also an adhesive to adhere the wood down, so we're gonna bolt it and put a little bit of adhesive down. So there's still lots to do, but man, this was a big job. Holy! Okay, so now that I have all of my panels cut and sanded to fit in the back of the Troopy here, I'm going to give them a quick paint job just to protect this wood from water and dirt and gunk and stuff like that, because we want these panels to last quite a long time. They'll be getting covered up eventually, but for now, I'm just going to do a nice couple coats of this bare, just the Home Depot special. This paint is exceptional resistance to dirt and fading, so that's what we're looking for. Just give this wood an extra layer of protection, because it gets pretty dirty back here. For some reason, it always gets so dirty back there. I don't know how it happens, but it just does. So good protection.
After going back out to the store to get proper size bolts, we drop in all 3 floor panels for a quick test fit. Then it's on to building the walls. This is not the finished version of the floor, as the panels still need painting and more insulation needs to be placed under the wood. Luckily, we kept all the old panels we took off the wall when we stripped out the interior this time last year. We'll be using them as a stencil to create new panels.
And just scraping this gunk off of here. We don't really even know what this gunk is, but I don't want to leave it there. So we're going to take it off and then, I don't know, maybe repaint it.
Alright guys, so things are starting to fall into place here with the Troopy interior build. We have all the floor panels cut and shaped. We have almost all of them painted. We have all of the side wall panels cut and holes drilled to mount them. We still need to paint them. We've sanded the inside of the walls because there was a layer of, I don't even know what it was, the sticky material on the inside of the walls there that we didn't want there. We wanted to put our own material down, which will end up being the same rubberized coating that went on the floor, just as a base layer of insulation. And then the material that's going to go on the inside of the walls as a final insulation layer is going to be this Insulator 6mm thick by Car Builders. So that's going to insulate the inside of our walls along with that rubberized spray from POR 15. Now what I have to do is just give the inside walls a final sanding, and then I'm going to mask them off for paint. It's finally a warm enough day outside. It's been cold for the last week and a half, and I couldn't do any painting. So I got all the prep work done on the inside of the Troopy, got all the walls cleaned, sanded, ready for paint. They're all masked off. Like I said, it's finally a warm enough day. Right now it's supposed to get up to between 10 and about 10 degrees today. Right now it's about 7. Beautiful day, so I'm gonna get painting on the walls, and we're gonna make this happen because time's ticking and we gotta go. So let's get painting.
A base coat of primer is sprayed, and then it's onto the rubberized coating. This coating is a great first-line defense for harsh noise and temperature change.
Put the sound deadening on here before we just cut willy-nilly so that it's calculated. That makes sense.
Okay, so we finished up cleaning and sanding and painting the walls of the Troopy. That was a huge job. Didn't quite realize that it was going to be that big of a job, but glad to have that done. The next step is to add our foam insulation. So Allison's measured everything up. We have the foam material, so we got to cut it up. It's just a peel and stick. So once we have it cut, we'll peel and stick it to the wall, and then on goes our finishing wood panels.
So I took the measurements yesterday of the side walls, and now we're just transferring that onto the sound deadening, remeasuring it out, and then marking it with chalk so we know where to cut it.
This is going to be the tricky part here because we're going to have to maneuver it in this tight spot and then maneuver it around and then stick it and probably unstick it and move it and stick it and unstick it. So the less times you can stick it and unstick it, the better it will adhere. How's that?
Looks good to me.
This peel and stick insulation layer by Car Builders is a closed cell foam designed to fit in tight areas. It offers a great acoustic and thermal insulation and prevents condensation buildup.
Oh, that looks so good! Oh my gosh, that looks amazing! Down.
Did you get it?
No.
We finish up the wall insulation, paint our replacement panels, and mount everything up. I don't know if I'm thrilled with the color yet, but it's nice to have something checked off the list.
Got an exciting package here today. This is our aluminum extrusion from T-Nuts that we're going to be using to build the frame of our cabinets.
Thank you so much for watching our Troopy build project. You can help support make more of these videos for just $3 a month over on our Patreon page. Be sure to check it out and let us know what you think. Link will be in the video description. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.